nature of the Tigers and how effectively they have used Kindred, it does present an interesting conundrum in terms of the defensive style of play. KT just looking to outlast some of these fast skirmishes. Yeah, and we've seen how strong it can be in China and Europe so far. Definitely made a mark there in terms of the team fight control that you have with that pick, and you know, dealing with some of the mobility of the enemy. You take that Lucian and you can stop a lot of his dashes, try and make him a little bit more vulnerable there. Right here, Score going to get in behind him. He's going to dash forward, and how much damage is he going to do? Prey takes about 50% of his HP. Score has to flash out.
No mana on Kuro.
As Kuro comes in, TP now going to be the follow-up here from Smeb. Ssumday is not going to be doing much. Score actually doesn't get stunned right there by Smeb. He's still on the run. Tahm Kench going to eat him, but there are 4 people here, and this could be 2 dead members of KT. Fly comes through, going to laser his way, but Score will be the first to fall with that first blood, and Ssumday follows soon thereafter. Fly just can't get there in time. Fly, now on the run himself, does have to flash up into his own jungle.
The first person to rotate among enemy support. He's always in the right spot.
There we go again. He's going to punt Score back out of his own jungle. Prey is there, and into the arms of Peanut goes Score, and that will be another kill. Score with 2 deaths already this game before 8 minutes. Not having a lot of luck. And here comes Smeb. They want Fly. Spear is going to miss. There's the knockback. Gets him up in the air, and he's going to get charged into the turret. Smeb is going to trade 1 for 1 and actually gets 2 kills in the end with the help of the laser. What a turnaround there from Fly. It looked like such a good play. They hammered him into the turret and then followed up with the E, but he still managed to get the laser off.
I mean, a smidgen.
A smidgen. It's still a lead for the Tigers and that early dragon. Let's take a look at this again.
Just think about it in terms of volleyball. Watch this set, up in the air, spikes down into the turret. It was really nice, but the cleanse being back up, maybe that was a missed time, because that was what meant that they could get all that return damage.
The real mistake there was that they used the heroic charge and the gold card at the same time instead of waiting for the cleanse to come out. Now they can, of course, huge amounts of chase on this team, but they're going to come in right now. Ssumday just shows up with a TP. A tongue lash gorilla.
His ult's still down, so has to be more defensive than you expect an Alistar played.
And that means Dragon now contested successfully by KT ROLSTER. Right now, Kuro simply clearing waves in the bottom side to keep that turret up. Hachani here with the ultimate, though, is going to tag Gorilla straight into the binding. They're going to get the ultimate out once again. Unbreakable Will, they're going to try and burst him. That doesn't work, KT. And Ssumday is just going to get knocked right back into the turret. They finally are able to take out Gorilla, but it comes at the cost of Ssumday. Now Kuro joining his team in the mid lane, and there's Hachani getting very, very low. Kindred ult is going to be popped, and Arrow tries to stick in. He's going to be the next to fall, though. Fly has to use his cleanse, and he dies too, and a mega dive from ROX. Kuro can't quite clean up Score, but that is nearly an ace off of a very poor commitment by KT ROLSTER. And no mid turrets outside of their base. And Peanut is caught and destroyed. Maybe. We'll see. The ult is going to proc at the end, so Hachani does pick it up to answer a split push with a Tahm Kench. Gorilla caught out once again, but this time he may actually die through his ultimate, and yes, he will. Score finishes him off.
Fairly irrelevant now. These games have been going late, so maybe the stacking will matter. It's Prey.
Prey almost dies, and yes, he will. Lux Fly grabs it as Prey tries to use his heal. Didn't have his flash available.
Nuts.
Uh-oh, now they may. Ssumday going to come around, and he's going to get stunned by Kuro on the port. Knocked back by Poppy right now. Ssumday watches as he gets hammered in the face. And Hachani there for some reason. Interesting choice. That was definitely not where you want to be on the map right there. Easy kill.
Got double pink wards around this area. KT aren't responding. It's down to 5,000 health already.
Yeah, they're just going to get it right here. Uncontested. KT late to this fight. They're going to come in, but nothing really going to happen. Score face check Smeb, and here we go. Kuro just going to show up with a gold card, and he's going to get saved by Ssumday. Ssumday slammed into the wall now by Poppy. Gorilla low. He's going to engage with his ultimate. Fly also falling quite behind, and there's another kill coming in. Hachani taken out. Support for support this far in the fight. Arrow trying to kite out Smeb. KT Fly still alive, and now in the end, they trade just 1 for 1. Somehow, we see Score get out of that.
Yeah, Kuro really low on mana, had to stop with the CC, but this is immense turret damage already. Get this inhibit if they want to force, but no, with the respawns, they back away.
I mean, 3 now will be secured. And late final spark from KT where they can fully utilize all of their abilities to save their carries. And there we go. Prey just going to work right through it. All right, so Ssumday now perfectly capable of tanking up some of these members. Smeb now spit back out. Here comes Gorilla with a big engage. Kuro going to be following up. Gold card is going to move through the enemy team. Arrow trying to kite this out. Big ult from Fly, but it's just not going to do enough damage. They're working on Ssumday right now. He's got a lot of gray health. Arrow starting to turn this fight around. Fly right behind him. Here comes the charge of Arrow. There's the spooky ghost going to get the slow. Prey has to pop over the wall with the arcane shift. But when the dust settles, 3 for 1 and maybe more. Arrow is here. Prey has to use his heal to escape. Ardent Blaze not going to find a target, and Prey will just barely escape this fight.
The push is still on. Smeb's trying to buy space. They just want this inhibitor.
Prey doing a really good job, but he's going to miss the true shot barrage. Smeb now finds Score, smashes him into the wall, and Peanut has to use his QSS to get out of the bind. Now Smeb is going to be falling a little bit low. Meanwhile, Ssumday is soloing Kuro and not going to get the kill as both summoners burn from the Twisted Fate. They want to burn this inhibitor and run, but they are low, and Kuro is in a bad position. Can KT save this? Just a couple more hits left, but both teams very poke heavy around this objective. Question is, Tahm Kench gonna come through with the Abyssal Voyage. Peanut has to flash now, and here's Gorilla. He is a tasty target for Ssumday, who is black shielded. And here we go, Gorilla. They're just waiting on that ultimate to end, and they burn him down one more time. KT making a strong defense. Score, not enough. Yeah, they are. Here we go. Going to go for another Baron this game. Tahm Kench nearly there, but no one else from KT. Free Baron again for the Tigers.
Denying the 5-stack of potentially 50 minutes into this game. Burst down quickly.
One would think wit's end here, but we'll see. Blade would definitely not be a bad item. I like the choice of the offensive item to shut down some of this split push. Kuro now on the run into the mid lane. Smeb trying to take down this mid lane turret. Prey still poking with that Iceborne Gauntlet, and they are going to get this top inhibitor, and they're going to get mid at the same time. But they also still have the better team composition when it comes to some of these team fights and have been repulsing ROX with some efficiency, and Smeb's going to knock this Tahm Kench out and make sure his team gets the turret. Baron buff still up. Arrow about 50% HP, still trying to deal some damage to Smeb. True shot barrage once again swings wide.
So hard to get onto Prey. Alistar trying on headbutt duty. Ssumday's angular damage.
That's a big laser across 2 members. Good job on the binding, but is it going to be enough? Hachani now low is going to stop Prey in his tracks for the moment. Ssumday still trying to face tank most of this poke. He's going to get Smeb, spit back out, but there's the heroic charge, and they're going to get the kill onto Tahm Kench. Gorilla still at his ultimate up to provide the front line as his back line collapses onto Ssumday.
Really good use of the CC. It meant the gray health couldn't be popped. Tahm Kench dies.
And here we go. TP now into the mid lane is going to keep that up. Smeb immediately rooted. Well, Gorilla comes in. He's got no mana for any more abilities, and that's going to be a snipe on him. No ultimate, so they take down the support, but this last turret falling very low. Lots of super minions in the base. Score going to get hammered into the turret, flashes away. Now we have the on the base, and that's going to be it. The Nexus falls in the end. ROX Tigers take game 1 in a shade under 40 minutes.